Hi everybody! The emotion of fear is arguably the most powerful tool of marketing in human civilization. Dictators have used it to conquer lands, politicians have used it to create vote banks, and insurance companies have used it to make billions of dollars. And every single year, billions of dollars are invested to design strategies on how to leverage the insecurities of the common man to sell them a product, to sell them a service, or sometimes to get Chintu a job in Google. So the question is, in spite of everyone practically being aware of this strategy, how does it work consistently from time to time? And more importantly, from a business standpoint, how can you leverage the emotion of fear to sell your products without crossing the ethics line? Before we move on, I want to thank our partners Ditto for supporting our content, but more on this at the end of the video. A classic example of fear marketing is the iconic strategy of Listerine, and this strategy skyrocketed its sales by 6,900%. To tell you about it, this is a story that dates back to 1879 when an American scientist by the name Dr. Joseph Lawrence invented the amazing Listerine formula. And this product was by far one of the most versatile products in the market. Because in addition to being an antiseptic, it could also be used for a lot of other problems like athlete's foot, like gonorrhea treating, like foot cleaning, and even floor scrubbing. But while there were multiple antiseptics for external applications in the market, Listerine was by far the best surgical antiseptic for internal application. But you know what? In spite of it being the best product in the market, nobody ever paid attention to Listerine for the next 30 years. And in these 30 years, the owners of the rights tried every type of marketing that they could think about. They tried to sell it as the perfect germ killer. They spoke about the danger of oral infections, and they even tried marketing it through dentists as the perfect product to kill germs in the mouth. And yet, Listerine kept failing. But in the 1920s, they came out with a marketing strategy that became so successful that the demand for the exact same Listerine skyrocketed, and sales went from just $115,000 to more than $8 million in just 7 years. And from that decade onwards, until today, that is even after 100 years, Listerine is a necessity in the American household and generates a revenue of more than $350 million every single year. The question is, what exactly was the strategy and what was so special about it? As it turns out, the Listerine guys came out with a marketing campaign based on a medical condition called halitosis. Halitosis was a condition wherein the mouth of the person smells a lot due to the formation of bacteria in the mouth. This is what we call as bad breath. And they presented this condition by telling the sad story of a young, beautiful character named Edna. The ad stated Edna as the perfect girl that any man would desire. Men would notice her, they would come close to her. But as soon as they came close, they got disgusted and moved away due to her smelling mouth. Because Edna had halitosis, and this made Edna a sad girl. Now people, if you take a step back and analyze this advertisement, we are looking at a 20th century American society that was so patriarchal that the society pressurized women so much that it was almost the life goal of every woman to attract a rich man and make him fall in love with her. And in her 20s, her personality and attractiveness would literally go on to decide her destiny and her status of living. And during this time, when women are already under immense pressure, if you show them a poster which shows a sad girl and says, "Always a bridesmaid but never a bride," or a poster wherein there is a girl who's single and sad while other girls are getting engaged, do you realize how scary it was for a woman to have halitosis? It was practically every girl's nightmare. And this is the reason why American women flocked to buy Listerine, which resulted into a massive shoot-up of sales by 6,900%, and the sales figures went up to $8 million in just 7 years. Now people, here's the most astonishing fact of all. The word halitosis is not even a real word. That is, it did not exist until a guy called George Lambert coined it specifically for this marketing campaign. And all he did was that he took a Latin word for breath, that is halitus, and combined it with the medical suffix osis to make it sound like a medical term for bad breath. And hence, Halitosis became both a medical term as well as a marketing miracle that made him millions of dollars.
ओ भाई मारो मुझे मारो मारो मुझे मारो मारो नहीं ये मजाक हो रहा है एक सेकंड यार मजाक हो रहा है.
This is the insane power of fear marketing, and if you look around yourself, you will find hundreds of products that are knowingly or unknowingly tapping onto your fears and making you buy their products. Another genius example of the same in the Indian context is Saffola. If you look at Saffola's marketing strategy, they never try to portray themselves as just another healthy oil. Instead, they specifically narrow down their positioning as the heart specialist, and they capitalize on women's concern for their husband's health. For example, let's say you are a woman whose husband has diabetes or even a minor health condition, and I show you an ad which directly or indirectly says, "Hi, are you a responsible wife? Do you genuinely care about your husband's health? Do you want your husband to be alive and healthy? If yes, here's the healthiest oil in the market which will save your husband from death and will keep your husband alive and healthy for a long time. Would you like to buy it?" Now, as a caring wife for a wonderful husband, what do you think you would do? This kind of advertisement is the reason why Saffola has been one of the most successful products in the market for more than 15 years. Now here's where I want to draw the thin line between ethical and unethical marketing practices. When Saffola comes out with a marketing strategy like this, as long as it delivers the value that it is promising, that is, as long as it is keeping people healthy, it's ethical. In fact, it's great because some people, no matter how much the doctor says, they don't abide by the prescription. And while there are people who are ready to pay a premium for a healthy alternative, it's great to market the USP of your product. But in other cases, fear marketing could actually put people into extreme trouble. For example, if a salesman promises a lower middle class person, like a rickshaw driver, that by doing a 1 lakh rupees computer course, his son will get a job in Google, and if he doesn't do it, he will remain unemployed due to the heavy competition, what do you think the father is going to do? Now, as a father, his primary fear is that his son should not struggle and spend sleepless nights driving rickshaw like he did. So he might take a loan from a money lender, and for the next 1 or 2 years, the entire family's finances will be derailed, eventually leading him to nothing but a debt trap. This is unethical and perhaps the most pathetic thing you could do as a brand. So now the question is, how do you draw the difference and use fear ethically to skyrocket your sales? Before we move on, I want to introduce you to our partners for today's episode, and that is Ditto. People, the insurance sector is one of those sectors where fear marketing is often misused to sell worthless policies. The biggest problem over here is that the salesman or the insurance company that sells you the insurance neither cares about whether you even need an insurance or not, nor do they care about whether you can afford to pay the premium for the policy. And more importantly, even after buying an insurance policy, most people have no clue about what all expenses does the policy cover. And because of this lack of unawareness, after the accident has happened or after the hospital bill comes out, we tend to realize that 50% of our expenses are not even covered by the insurance policy. This is exactly what Ditto wants to solve. Ditto is not an insurance seller, it is an insurance educator. And the best part about their service is that they will first of all talk to you to understand whether you even need an insurance policy or not. If you don't, it's a goodbye. But if you do, they'll walk you through different policies from different companies and give you an absolute clarity about what exactly does your insurance policy cover and what does it not cover, just so that you don't get fooled by the insurance companies. So if you already have an insurance or you're planning to buy a new one, use the link below to get the most important insights about your insurance policy in less than 30 seconds. Now let's talk about the pointers on what are you supposed to do to leverage fear ethically to increase your sales. Lesson number 1. People always remember that there is a thin line between what you care about and what your customers care about. In this case, if you see, Listerine as a product was actually solving a very important problem, and that is eliminating oral infection. But it did not work until they tapped onto what the women cared about, and that is attracting men. So even if you're solving a bigger problem, the storytelling of the product needs to be positioned in a way that it caters to the concerns of the customer, even if that means that that is something really, really stupid. Lesson number 2, before you leverage fear of your customers, always remember, it's not like your customers don't want to buy your products. In fact, the market conditions of the economy that you're living in is thankfully very good. So fear is not your only tool to sell. And if you overdo it, one day or the other, your customers are going to find out, and when they do, you will lose your brand loyalty. So always remember, whether that is human beings or brand, relationships built upon admiration or inspiration are way more superior and long-standing as compared to relationships built upon fear. And last and most importantly, always remember that with great power comes great responsibility. As much as marketing is a superpower that can make you a millionaire, it can equally be destructive and cause harm to innocent people for no reason at all. So act responsibly, and if you are promising dream to your customers, you better do everything in your capacity to make them come true. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button in order to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and political case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on Friday. Bye bye.